By March, it was like I had looked down and I looked at my thing. I was like, so you mean tell me like in 3 months, I basically did like literally $1 million in sales?
Oh, yes,
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Rolling through the varsity of warm box of Krispy Kreme. The bucket moon shining down on P Street. Fine women everywhere, like living in the fantasy. Student playing in the fountains of Olympic Park. Hanging at the underground club, popping at the dark. Atlanta, baby, ain't nobody above it. When Atlanta smiles, I love it.
Welcome back to the Black Atlas podcast. As you all can see, we done shifted the energy in here. It's Valentine's Day almost. I hope you get your loving in. We're also celebrating Black History Month, so we talking about Black love.
Yeah.
So we figured this would be a great time to highlight some hidden figures in Black history. Asia, who are you highlighting first?
Y'all, so I'm super excited to highlight this individual. I learned about him while I was doing some research for my students. Because typically in schools, unfortunately, we fail a lot when it comes to teaching Black history. And our kids know about Rosa Parks, they know about Harriet Tubman, and MLK. And it's not that they shouldn't, but those are typically the only people that they know. So I discovered a man by the name of Henry Box Brown, and he is he's such a unique and interesting figure, and I'll tell you why. So Henry Box Brown was born a slave in the 1800s, and he escaped to freedom by arranging to have himself mailed to the North in a wooden crate to abolitionists who were in Philadelphia. As a free man, Henry eventually moved to England, where he lived 25 years there and worked as a magician and as a showman. Eventually, he moved back to the States, where he continued to work as an entertainer and became a noted abolitionist speaker. That's Henry Box Brown, y'all. Who do you have today?
So I have Stagecoach Mary. I learned about Stagecoach Mary at the Apex Museum. I was filming some griots there. They're doing a series for Kuumba storytellers of Georgia, and they're highlighting people who aren't so well known. And so a griot comes up in front of the camera and she tells the story as Stagecoach Mary. So she brought the energy. So let me tell you about Stagecoach Mary. She was a star route carrier for the Postal Service in the late 1800s. Actually, she was the first Black woman to ever have this role. As a star carrier, her job was to protect the mail from thieves and bandits, and of course, she had to protect herself, so she carried a rifle and a revolver. She wore men's clothes. She used to smoke a lot, and she ain't take no BS from nobody. She wasn't afraid of a fight. As a matter of fact, this woman shot a man for putting his hands on her. Imagine being a woman in the 1800s with a gun, first of all, and you kill a man, a white man, for causing harm to your body. That's the type of energy that I will call upon into my life.
Amen.
That's that courage. And so we want to uplift those hidden gems. And don't be afraid to learn some new history, not just the history that they want us to see, the history that we see for ourselves. So moving on, we're going to go into our city trends. Asia, what's happening in the city?
All right, y'all. So in the spirit of Black History Month, we wanted to pop it off with a very prominent Black figure. John Lewis now has a portrait here in the ATL. So as you know, unfortunately, we lost the late and great John Lewis last year. But a beautiful portrait has been painted of him right downtown in Freedom Parkway. It's directly after the Vortex, right after 7-9. It's on the right. Now, have you seen it yourself?
I have not.
Nope. Okay, so before it goes away, you guys got to get there and check it out. Artist and activist Stan Hurd created the portrait, and he calls it an earthwork. Now, this term means that it was created with grass and earth and other natural materials. So, unfortunately, that means that this installation is temporary, and it will only last as long as nature allows it to. So eventually it's going to fade away. So y'all hurry up, get down to Freedom Parkway and see it for yourself.
I'm going as soon as possible.
Now, on a heavier note, East Point has instated a curfew for teenagers. Now, this comes behind a series of incidents, but specifically on January 31st, there were 3 teens, 2 of them age 15, 1 age 13, and they were shot and killed at Camp Creek Marketplace. The East Point police say unaccompanied minors have become a consistent issue at Camp Creek Marketplace. Let's check it out.
Do not leave your juveniles unattended.
East Point Police Major Sean Buchanan says it's been a problem for 6 months. More than 200 juveniles leaving this AMC theater and heading to Camp Creek Marketplace, causing big problems.
When you have 250 to 300 children with nothing to do, they start being disruptive, fights may ensue, and people with guns start shooting.
Saturday night, 3 juveniles under the age of 15 struck with flying bullets. Earlier this month, a 22-year-old woman was shot in the shoulder at the AMC Theater. Back in August, an 11-year-old girl was struck in her back behind Longhorn Steakhouse by a stray bullet.
This is multiple weekends now. We've had situations and incidents involving juveniles, and it's very dangerous.
For now, he has a strong message for parents.
The marketplace is not a hangout area, it's a shopping area. So don't leave your children unattended at the marketplace.
Now, in response to this series of incidents, East Point City Council has passed a 9 p.m. curfew for anyone under the age of 17 years old. And from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., minors have to be accompanied by an adult. The curfew was passed by a 6-2 vote in City Council, and lots of the public were in favor of the curfew, but some did push back. Some argued that this just presents more of an opportunity for Black youth to have a run-in with the cops. Where do you stand?
I agree with that last point, that it creates an atmosphere where you have Black youth engaging with cops more, which, as we see, that's interactions that we just don't want because they often end fatal, you know. But I do think that you have to address the violence, you know, that's happening and the disruptions. It's just unfortunate that our youth don't have more support and don't have more community-based activities where they can come and be youth safely. And so I hope that someone who has the capacity in East Point anyway, whether it's legal or an individual, creates a space because, as he said, there's a need there for youth to be able to gather and be youth.
But curfews aren't anything new. They have them at Atlantic Station, at Lenox, any of like the major shopping areas. Most of them have curfews. It's just like now East Point is finally getting on that bandwagon,
right,
since they've experienced their own issues firsthand.
Right.
So I hope that this is more of a positive than a negative with what the consequences may be. But hopefully this works out for you. Y'all go home. If you have nothing better to do, just go home. It's still COVID. It's still a panorama right now, okay? So y'all go sit your butt still.
A panorama?
You know, it's a Panera bread right now.
It's a Panera bread.
So y'all just go sit your butt down,
love it.
okay?
Nah, that's real.
That wraps up our city trends for today. And we're going to move right along to this week's BBW.
I like my girls BBW.
All right, so our BBW is a very, very special queen. Her name is Akiya Jeri, and she runs Onesie Nation USA. If you do not know, they create sleepwear, loungewear, super cute onesies, like things you ain't never seen before. They ain't no basic onesies, right? Like she got altar tops, fitted onesies. She got onesies for your chakra.
And they for everybody, y'all. If you thick, they got something for you, okay?
Yes,
okay.
And if you slim thick, she got you too, baby.
Y'all.
So she is our special guest on our Tea Leaf discussion. We actually have been blessed with some onesies for ourselves, so we're going to slip into something comfy and get into our Tea Leaf discussion. So today we have a very special guest. She's an entrepreneur here in Atlanta. Her onesies are absolutely killing the game. Yeah. As you can see, we are rocking them today.
Onesie Nation.
Yes, Onesie Nation. So I want you all to help welcome Akiya Jeri to the show.
Hi.
Welcome to Black Atlas.
Yes. All right, thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you so this is not a fake personality. This has been her on and off camera. Like I love
all
it.
Day.
I love it.
Okay, so we want to kick things off talking a little bit about, of course, your business.
Okay.
But I want to get into how we met. So
okay,
let's talk about that. What was the ceremony like for you?
Okay, so I'm trying to think about how to even put it together because it was such a beautiful experience. Truly.
So let me give some context.
Yeah.
So we sat in an ayahuasca ceremony together. You and I have talked about it. Ayahuasca is an indigenous medicine that's grown throughout parts of South America. And it's blended using a specific vine and the leaves. So the vines have DMT, and typically our enzymes in our stomach prohibit us from taking in the DMT. But when you blend it with the leaves, it opens up the blood-brain barrier. So the DMT gets into your brain,
right.
Specifically your third eye. And it actually activates a certain area of your brain that's known for anxiety and depression. And so it eases that. When people come out of ceremony, they feel more at peace,
so
right?
This is why I'm like this.
And you did. You looked so peaceful in the ceremony.
Yeah, I was peaceful. I felt it.
I just wanted to bring that up because, like we were saying, there's so much about you that is unexpected.
Very
right?
much so.
When I walked in that ceremony, I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect to see you.
Yeah.
A lot of women who look like you, who move the way you do in this world, pop in the way you pop in,
different.
aren't sitting in sacred spaces, but we need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of felt that because as soon as I walked in, I'm like, okay. I knew I felt that I was supposed to be there because I'm like, okay, I know once they get to know me or once they fill me out, then they'll know, okay, she's basically like one of us. In a sense, because I do kind of have, depending on how somebody, perceives me, it could be either or. And I've been used to that pretty much my whole life. Which is cool. I don't think it's a good or a bad thing. I think it's just neutral. And it kind of allows a space to be able to talk and see that,
I would describe you as a pleasant surprise. That's what I've gotten from this. Like,
nice.
Since you walked into the door, I think you are a pleasant surprise. Like, you don't
so sweet.
know what to expect, but everything that you've been showing is A1. So I'm just like, hey, I'm here for it.
It hasn't even been that long.
Yeah.
We're just not getting started.
Yeah. And I think that's important, like how, especially as women, Black women, how easy it is for us to look at one woman and say like, oh, you this type,
so
I'm
real.
that type, so we can't come together. We got to squash that shit.
So real.
We got to squash that shit.
No doubt.
And I think that's a part of what I love about your brand, right? Because it just feels like every woman, no matter how curvy you are, slim you are, no matter your style, there's a space for you in Onesie Nation.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely aim for that on purpose. Just because I feel like everyone is kind of like the same in a sense. I mean, whether we see it or not, it's like, we do have like, whether it be people relating to like certain insecurities or certain, things that make you confident or certain things that make you happy or make you sad, anything. And when it comes down to like women specifically, like our bodies and how we perceive ourselves is kind of like a either up or down. So I really wanted to come up with something that was like more form fitting because I do want people to celebrate their curves. And that's kind of like what helped me get over like my insecurities just growing up. Being able to see, okay, well, this is a part of me, I love it, and then especially when you're going to bed at night, it's like, that's like the perfect time. So a lot of us either can, be with someone or we could be by ourselves. So either way, it's just good to just feel cute.
Yes.
I like
In all sizes.
No, that's real, because when
In
I was
all sizes.
scrolling on your site, I was like, I'm not going to find anything. I never find onesies. And then I started looking at your models, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Some of these girls look like me. Okay, I might be able to find something on here. And
That's
I got
the
more
goal.
excited. So, like, I truly do appreciate that you have that angle with how you're marketing.
Oh, yeah,
because
thank
your
you.
goal is to be one for every woman.
It's
So
a onesie.
I love that. Yep.
Get it like one.
It's all for
As
one.
in one?
Yeah.
No, seriously, that's what it's supposed to be, and I think that's probably my favorite part of like my job. Besides like creating, that between that and just hearing like the customer reviews and seeing people happy and like tagging me in their photos and stuff, and some women just talking about, I just got out of a relationship, I didn't feel like this, and I put on this onesie and it just, or just the confidence that shoots up like every time they wear one. Because these are like collective items for people. I like made like hundreds of them, and a lot of my customers, like, they consider themselves to be like Onesie Nation vets.
Yes.
Because they own like so many, and that's like a cool feeling.
Hey, I'm about to
Definitely.
join the army.
Me too.
Come on through.
So tell us about how you started Onesie Nation. How did you bless
So
the world with this?
do you want the real story, like the real story?
The
Do you want
real.
like the low key, like, okay, cool, I can say this at like schools?
No,
we want the real.
This Black Atlas.
Okay,
real.
cool. All right, say no more. So, it was my first time trying shrooms.
Yes. Okay, this all comes back to. Okay, I just have to say this real quick. We got shrooms. We got ayahuasca. All of these are natural medicines that they do their best to keep us away from when it is our birthright to access our medicines that have been given to us through our Creator and have been administered through medicine men and women for years. So,
you said that so beautifully.
I say that to say, my people, do your research and tap into medicines in safe ways because they activate a power in you that is dormant and will remain dormant to their benefit and to your demise.
Ooh, come on, girl. Come on.
Wow,
You saw the
a shroom like activist. I think I love it.
Like, I did shrooms last night.
No, seriously. Oh my God, I have another story about that. It's
okay, so we back on it.
Okay.
Shrooms.
Okay. So yeah, so I originally I was like, I still am obsessed with Steve Jobs. I know that's kind of weird.
Why?
Because I like Apple and I like how he came up with Apple and everything about Apple.
Okay.
And even just down to like the marketing and stuff. Like, I always said I want Onesie Nation to be like Apple. Mm-hmm. And I know that's kind of like different. Even down to like what I create. Like, I don't have, like, I only drop it one time. And that's it. So once they're sold out, they're gone. Like,
you can't get it again?
Can't get it again.
That's smart.
That's exclusive.
It is. It is.
I like that.
It's like an exclusive type thing.
And then it makes people want to grab it as soon as it
Now,
comes
don't get me
out.
wrong. I might restock some here and there because I'm like, okay, everybody's asking about these. Like, Akiya, don't even be like that. Mm-hmm. And I'll actually, restock them. But it was a really, really cool night because, Steve Jobs took shrooms to come up with Apple. And in a lot of his interviews, he talked about some of the top 10 things that he could have ever did. And it was to take shrooms. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, cool, bet. Like, at this point, I'm like, in this space, I was a substitute teacher, literally, like, making shit, like, $50 because it should have been $75, but after taxes or whatever they do, your check becomes like so small. And I was driving all the way out to like Chattahoochee Hills charter school.
From here?
Yes.
Wow.
And that's far.
Yes.
So basically I was broke.
Yeah.
Long story short. And before that I was working at like a bartender. So I was working at the strip club. I did DOA. I went to Miami and lived there for a year. So my life has been like pretty like crazy. But, like, I kind of got to, like, my end because I'm like, okay, what else am I going to do? And so the shrooms was, like, something that I didn't even have any idea that I really had, like, manifested everything I wanted before I even took them. Mm-hmm. But I did. So my first experience, it was my friend Kia and TJ. And we were right off of exit 16 in Smyrna, right there in front of that gas station. That's when everything hit me. But beforehand, we went to the Blue Flame. Now, mind you, I don't recommend taking shrooms and going to no strip club. Please.
Why not?
I don't recommend it.
Bro, when I tell you the worst experience of my life, like, was in the strip club because at that time, like, I saw, like, lust. I saw, like, everything that the strip club is really it. Like, it was just a dark space. Some of these girls, like, I would have known for forever, and they were like damn near turning into like little mini like creatures and stuff. It was just weird. But I started getting really paranoid because I'm like, okay, this ain't right. I don't like this. Get me out of here. So we're just driving, and once again I'm thinking like, damn, okay, this happens to like be in the car, because everything is like vibrant. I'm just thinking in my head, like, okay, all these signs, everything that I'm seeing, whatever's changing into whatever, I'm just, like, taking notes into, like, everything and just enjoying it. And so this is the funny part. So we got to the gas station because we didn't know where we were going. We had nowhere to go, for real. I just knew I didn't want to be in the house. And we were right there off of exit 16. If you know, like, what I'm talking about, it's the Crystal's over there. It's the gas station. It's over there by Bolton Road.
Get off, go straight to the right off the exit.
You already know where I'm talking about. Gotcha. Right there. I kept feeling like I had to pee. And I didn't know if I had to pee or not. I think I probably was on my cycle at that time too. I'm not really sure. And even then, that feels different. Like if you're like, just the whole cycle part. It's like, oh wow, like this is what my body does. It didn't scare me, but you could feel it. And I don't know to this day, I don't know if I peed on myself or not. I hope I didn't. I did try to go into the gas station, and I'm one of those, like, I kid you not, I don't like when people hear me pee. So I had my friend come in there with me, and I still couldn't pee. So at that point, and mind you,
I forgot that you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was like, she was peeing.
Yeah, I'm in here tripping balls. And then at that point,
no, bathrooms get you on shrooms.
No, they do.
In general, just go into the bathroom, do what you gotta do, and come out.
Man,
don't stay in there.
You keep your eyes closed as much as you can. Even then, that still don't help. If the towel starts moving, it's too much. It's too much. And then you gotta stand up as a, you know what I'm saying? We gotta squat already, and eyes hurting. So this is what's so crazy, y'all. I had on a hoodie, a zip-up hoodie, and some leggings, and I didn't know how to take them off. As simple as that. It was as if I became childlike. Like, straight up. So even when I did try to use the bathroom, it was an epic fail, and Kia couldn't even help me. So I was like, let's just skate. So we got back in the car. Once again, I'm like, y'all, I really have to pee. So I'm hopping out like as if I'm really about to pee, like on the side of the car. And then I realized, I'm like, I don't even know how to take this off. And I became childlike, and I'm like, wow, I need something easier to take, to take on and off. And that's all I left it as. The next day, I'm gonna fast forward it, is when everything started coming down. That's when I realized, like, I'm like a baby. And I want a onesie. And then that's how onesies came about. And then I ended up, rewind it a couple years later, years before, in 7th grade, my parents had, like, shipped me off to China, basically. Crazy. With this group called People to People. Oh, I've heard, okay. Whatever. I'm like, it was cool. The experience was cool, but it was a tour guide named Jessica who I kept up with. And when it was time for me to, like, want to find a factory, I was able to still WhatsApp her, like, and talk to her. And then that's how I got in.
That seed was planted so long ago.
Yeah, from like 7th grade.
Wow.
And I was only able to afford to make 7 onesies at that time. And that cost me like $135, and that was my whole check.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Her whole check.
My whole check.
See, but that's the power of choice. Yeah. Because you could be in a state where you think, 135, whatever you said, okay, no, I'm going to need this to pay a bill, or I'm going to need this to eat. But you chose, and you thought long term.
Yeah.
You thought investment, and you thought sovereignty.
Yeah.
And the way that paid off stretches way further than 1 or 2 bills that you would have paid with that,
Yeah, even if I did have bills at the time, I was like, they don't have to wait.
But that's how I felt, baby. I'm not here just for bills.
I'm like, this is it. They're going to have to catch me.
Yeah.
Hanging up on every number. I don't know. Because I ain't got it right now. I'm not going to have it for a while.
Have y'all seen the video of that girl on Instagram? She's on the phone with God. She's like, God, I thought you said no weapon formed against me shall prosper. These bills keep prospering. This shit is so funny.
Yeah. You just got to make some choices. Now, for me, it was that 135, and that was it. And it worked out. And it worked out, like, immediately. Like, everything worked out immediately. But I definitely recommend, even I've done interviews before, like, where I talked about, shrooms and stuff. I've always been, like, an advocate since, like, 2016. I just like the way you had said it earlier, because it just brings a science into it versus people who think, she's just a hippie or whatever, and she just wants to do X, Y, and Z. But even now, like, I always take shrooms around my anniversary.
When is your anniversary?
So it's November 16th.
Okay. What year?
2016.
Wow.
So I'm 5 years in. Yeah.
Nice.
So it was like right before Thanksgiving, like around that Black Friday time. So my parents, we don't celebrate holidays.
Okay.
It's really for money, in a sense. And as a business, I kind of just like, well, I hope that didn't offend anybody. Because, listen, Turkey Day, I'm still, do not, take this out on me, not Onesie Nation. You can still shop.
Girl, be real.
Because I know.
I'll take your coins.
You know what I mean? For all that, I am the most holiday spirited person when it comes down to that. I'm talking about Christmas ads, all that stuff, But I was like, wow, this is like perfect timing, because I'm like, I could really make Black Friday, and that was like my first time actually putting it out there. But because my designs were so different at that time and nobody had, saw them, it was easy for me to sell them. Once I sold those 7, that's when I was like, okay, I can afford to get 10.
Yeah.
And I bought the 10 and then, came back in. Mm-hmm. Then it came down to 12. Then it came down to 15. Then 20. Then 25. But this was like a gradual thing, which I really want to put that out there because a lot of people don't talk about this type of stuff. And especially when it comes down to like time and energy to become successful in your business. It doesn't just happen overnight. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people on Instagram, you can go in there and they'll make you feel really shitty because they just pop up with like G-Wagons and all types of stuff and whatever. And you don't know like how they've gotten it. You don't know who's funding them. Mm-hmm. You don't even know if it's real. Mm-hmm. So don't look at that. Don't look at these people because they will make you really start questioning yourself. And you'll be like, dang, like why didn't this not sell this fast? And you'll be ready to give up. And it's like, I'm 5 years in now, but when I first started, of course, like my goal was to sell like at least 10 onesies per day, or at least 10 products. Cause I actually had a boutique. It was called Akiya Jeri Collections. So I actually would sell like clothing, like bodysuits, waist shapers.
You had a boutique in Atlanta or was it still online?
It was still online.
Oh. Okay.
I never had anything like where people could come to me.
Okay.
Or whatever. Like so always was online based.
How did you learn online retail?
I'm trying to think about how I really, really learned it. Well, for one, I was an assistant for the Brittany, that's like Future's baby mom.
Okay.
It would Papa Junk. When she did Papa Junk, I was helping her out with that, and then like from there, I kind of had learned Shopify.
Okay.
And then so I think that kind of helped me. But as far as like actually learning like online, like even when it was my turn, I was taking invoices from people and just remembering to send them through PayPal. So until I realized like I need to get a site, and I actually still have my first site. I still pay on it to this day. On Big Cartel, I didn't let my first site go.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So it was like 2017, 2018. I was 2 years in at that time, and my grandmother had passed, and I like kind of had stopped doing everything. I was like, basically, fuck this shit, like completely. Like I don't even care no more because it really like did something to me, and it took me a while to bounce back from that, which I'm sure like a lot of people too. Like when it comes down to things that you can't control in your business, don't let anybody, including your customers, make you feel bad about how you feel. Because you can't handle certain things and you're only human. And a lot of people don't, like, they don't think about that. Like, wow, this person could have experienced a death in the family, or they may not be feeling good, and all they're caring about is a tracking to update. Yep. So what I did was I was gladly handing out refunds because at that point it's like, my piece is, there.
Priority.
Yeah, so priority. I'm like, I'm a chill. But I finally ended up like bouncing back. I ended up getting in the gym at that time, and I was like a gym rat. And I was just working out literally every day. So I got like where I needed to be. And that's when I decided to try the onesies again. And at that time, I had thought about Onesie Nation USA. And I created that page and then created the website for it. So Onesie Nation now was able to separate from Akiya Jeri Collections. So truly, Onesie Nation USA is only 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Talk to us about, hit us with a quick flex with some numbers. Like, you only 2 years in, but where you at?
Okay, so 2 years in, my first year I had at least 6 figures. I do remember that. Even if it was like...
Your first year.
My first year.
Your first year.
No cap.
Your first year.
No cap. My first year was like 6 figures. Because
come on, sis.
I was doing... my goal, I was beating it. Then by the summertime, it was a wrap. Like, I was able to save, at least, about 10, between 6 to 10,000 a month. And at that time,
that girl said a month. Girl, I'm a teacher.
Yeah, hold on. I wasn't buying nothing. I was really like, I didn't do no photo shoots. I didn't do nothing. I was doing everything on my camera phone. I didn't really have a lot to do, and then I didn't have anybody to pay because I was doing everything.
Yeah,
I was my own model. I was everything.
Wow,
like truly. And then I was working at my parents' house, so I didn't have like somewhere to owe. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have like any, I really just thugged it out and just stayed at the crib.
That's a blessing.
And just wake up and print myself off and then keep it going. So yeah, I was trapping at my parents' house. And then let's fast forward it to like last year. One of the best years I ever had in my life.
Talk about it.
Last year during COVID.
Talk about it.
COVID.
Talk about it.
That's
I kid you
something I
not.
wanted to ask you about. How did you
COVID.
thrive through COVID?
It's such a weird way because it's like I hate that COVID happened. I promise you I hate that COVID happened because COVID is just like the devil.
But everyone was inside.
Everyone was inside and they couldn't go anywhere and they needed clothing, they needed pajamas.
Yes, and they needed to feel cute.
They needed me. They needed
Yes.
me. They needed me. And I was just like, oh gosh. In the back of my mind, I'm like, what? Like, please, like, and I'm telling you, like, it was really a sad thing because it was like people were dying, they're getting sick.
Yeah.
It was scary. I lost so much weight during that time, y'all. It being stressed out with the customers. And mind you, I'm still trapping it at my mom's house. I barely have, at that time, I didn't even have enough inventory. Like, I didn't have enough room to put inventory. Mind you, my parents are in a 3-story house at this point. And I'm using the living room, which nobody could sit in, the sunroom, which nobody could sit in, the garage, which nobody could sit in, and then my bonus room, which I will, I'll show you the picture.
Yeah.
My mom actually painted the room for me and was like, Akiya, just try to like put all your stuff in here. And right when COVID happened, my mom, the Capricorn in her,
Needed order. And you
like literally she needed order, and then not only that, but she's like, you can't have your assistant come in here anymore because I don't know what household she's in. I don't know what. And I'm like, Ma, mind you, I'm having like at this point, we still moving packages. We still like these people
Pushing.
are like damn near having to do almost 500-600 orders a day between two people, just 4 hands. Like that's
now
it.
it's down to just you.
And now it's down to just me. Me and my mom, we fell out about it because I was really mad, and I hope my mom sees it because I was mad at you. I was, because I'm like...
Oh, my mom sees.
Yeah, because we're going to tell the whole story. Mind you, my mom's name is, her name is Brenda. So it's funny, like, just imagine being mad at somebody named Brenda.
You can't be. You so sweet. What you gonna say?
You cannot be mad at anybody named Brenda. It's
Right,
like, it's
ever.
crazy. So, but I was, because I was like, Ma, you're not understanding from a business perspective, baby. I'm getting cussed out by these people if their stuff isn't moving because they still having parties. They want to look good for their man, all types of stuff. So I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. So listen, now mind you, don't get me wrong, I could have accumulated all this money, but that doesn't mean I have the knowledge to move forward, to know that I need a place or whatever. I'm adulting, but not all the way.
Yeah.
You know, COVID made me grow up, like
Made
in the worst way, because it was days where me and my sister literally had to work outside on the grass, trying to print orders and pack them and stuff. We working out of cars, like we doing everything. And I went around to a few places to see if I can get approved, and I didn't know if I needed a warehouse. Like, who would have thought I would need a warehouse?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, that's too big. That's way too big. I just need me an office space, a little space.
So you have a warehouse now?
Yes, I have a warehouse.
Where is that?
Yes, Fayetteville.
Okay.
It's literally right off of 314. You gotta come. Okay?
I would love to. That could be a good little field trip.
Yes, it's super big. I would have never thought that that's the space I needed because I was thinking so small. I just wanted like a room, you know. And even before that, right there by what's that? The storage place right there in Fayetteville by like the Smoothie King. It was right behind there. You can't miss it. It's not right before you get to the Smoothie King.
Okay.
I was working out of like 4 different storages in there, like before I was able to do it. Getting rained on. For all the Onesie Nationers out there, especially the customers that wrote those Better Business Bureau like messages about me around that time, just know that we were outside in the storages, literally in the trenches at this point, wind blowing, rain when it's not even supposed to rain, and the rain comes, and we're looking at the weather and we're like, this isn't even supposed to happen. What, you know, down to like the tents blowing everything away.
Wow.
And people's orders getting lost, and everybody thought that I just wasn't trying to send their stuff out. No, we were sending everything out, and we were trying our best. And I knew that at that time the growth was uncomfortable. I got down to like literally 150 pounds. As you know, I'm tall. I'm like probably like 5'7" and some change. Me being 160 is just not, it don't look healthy. It don't look healthy on me. The only thing that was big on me was my head. And I was stressed out.
I respect the fact that it sounds like you did a lot of learning on the job. And I think that's because like I went to school for business. So like marketing, management, all of that. And I think there's a lot of things that we are taught that I would look at my peers in other colleges, not just be like, oh, you don't have a resume? Oh, you don't know how to do a job interview? You don't know this stuff? And it would just be second nature to me. But I also truly do understand the struggle that it is to not only be in a business, but when your business is growing faster than you were ready for.
Too fast.
And you made those changes to accommodate it. And I just have a lot of respect for you because a lot of businesses go down.
Yeah, I took the challenge. I was like, okay, cool, this is what you want me to do? Bet. Like, seriously. And when that happened before, and it's crazy, like, and I'll say like this, you got to be careful what you wish for, even though I'm really glad what I wished for was amazing. Because I had already manifested. Now, look, this is what I did. Catch this. So, by October, I was like, I want to at least try to make $100K a month, right? That was like my goal. Like, let me see if I can make $100K a month. So I went in, I did all my inventory, and I did exactly how much each one would cost and what my profit would be, you know, after I sell it and stuff, and what I would accumulate off of one, you know, onesie. So I knew right then and there exactly what I needed to sell and how many I needed. So, okay, so I was able to make the $100K. Boom, the first month, that was November. That happened. I'm like, let me try this again. You know what I mean? Right on time before everything starts shutting down and, you know, there's no planes coming in. Did it again in December.
Another $100K.
Yes.
Ooh.
Y'all heard that commercial? They be like, they got you $100K twice?
No, I'm straight.
And she about to go for the third. I already know it.
Then the third one was different because this one was over it. This was over $100K.
Wow.
Because now we're in January.
Wow.
Now we're really in COVID time.
Yeah.
Mind you, even in Christmas, around that time, I remember I ended up having to go to the hospital on Christmas Eve because I was sick. Like, I didn't feel good. And even then, like, people didn't know what was going on. They just wanted their orders. But yeah, I hit it again. So then it was like February again.
Jeez.
By March, it was like I had looked down and I looked at my thing. I was like, so you mean tell me like in 3 months, I basically did like literally $1 million in sales?
Oh, yes,
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I hit up, the first person I went to, I was like, Dad. Because I screenshot my Shopify, I'm like, so this is what happened. Basically.
I know your daddy was proud.
It's like that time really hit me because I'm like, okay, so this was uncomfortable for a reason. Because I'm like, there's no way that I would have ever had even close to $1 million worth of inventory in my mother's house. So it goes back to being that like fish in that fish tank, the little small fish. If you get a bigger tank, the fish gets bigger.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Or even when it comes down to snakes, they get bigger as the bigger, the bigger the tank. So I'm like, I'm glad that I was able to grow, but that was the most uncomfortable. You know, it was very uncomfortable for me because it was like no sleep, stressed out, barely eating, and then even at that time, my dumbass was trying to do a meal prep, and I didn't even need to do that, you know, because I'm like, everything is, you know, it's closed, so I'm eating like basically right at the same time. And I think that also helped me, but then it was like the stress on top of it, and I was just getting uncomfortable. I'm like, why people gonna start thinking I'm sick? You know what I'm saying? Like it got like that.
Now I'm curious because you've mentioned a lot, like the customers didn't know this, the customers didn't know that. Do you feel, especially with someone like that are influencers or people in those high positions, do you feel like you owe a level of transparency?
I try
to people.
They don't trust it. They don't believe it. They don't trust it. The thing with a lot of, and I can honestly say this, especially when it comes down to Black women, depending on their mindset, or Black business in a sense, and it comes down to Black people with Black business, it's always going to be, it's a scam. This is why I don't support Black business. This is why that. I mean, literally, a Black company can be a few days late, and then there's literally a Facebook ad basically saying why you shouldn't stop here. Yeah. But then Fashion Nova, whoever else can forget to send you anything, you know, or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, just wait or just give me my refund and I'm back shopping again. Now, as far as me being transparent, I used to post all the time, y'all, like, I'm sick right now. I have only one person that's doing this, X, Y, and Z. Or, hey, guys, you know, with COVID, the planes are going. They don't care about that. Customers don't even feel like we're in the same pandemic. Like, we are literally on two different planes. And this is like the average person. This isn't us. This is like the average person. They don't see any type of sense of urgency when it comes down to things that you cannot control. And that's the sad part. So that's why a lot of businesses that are in my position, especially Black women specifically, will not be, because they can't handle the pressure of somebody always trying to try you on what you are and what you're not and your intentions. And my mom always said, as long as you handle things with good faith, you're fine. And even to this day, whoever could say X, Y, and Z about me, it doesn't affect me at all because it's already written. And that's you know, it's past that, you know? Yeah. But you got to see past, you have to be able to see past all of that because that energy is insane. It'll stress you out and it'll drive you crazy. So you could be as transparent as you want, but it's still like, it's regardless of how, are they going to actually receive the transparency, or are they going to be like, somebody lying? Yeah. You know, and that's always what it is.
You mentioned the pressures of being a Black woman in business. How do you keep your spirits high and your mind healthy? Okay, so while pursuing this,
definitely with mental health and things like that, that's definitely very important. So what I and this is actually what's happening now. I've actually taken a mental break. I'm not working or doing any type of creative anything until September.
Ooh, yeah. Isn't that beautiful that she can do that?
Say that again.
I'm not doing anything.
And that's what, you know, I don't know. People have to really, I've learned to shift my understanding of abundance and money, right? I heard you say that you were thinking small at some point, right? We tend to think small because we don't think that we deserve richness. We don't think for whatever reason, because we've lived a certain way, that we have to continue to live that way. When you shift your awareness about your abundance and you're deserving of financial freedom, you see that it opens up doors for more freedom in your life. Yes. You, a Black woman at 28 years old, can sit here during a pandemic and tell me it's February and you not working till September? Baby, hats off to you. Yes. Hats off to you.
I posted it. I told them, I was like, I made the announcement pretty much after December. I was just like, really by February. No. December, I had already made my January designs. I already made my Valentine's Day designs. And I already made my St. Patrick's Day designs.
You ahead of it.
Which I just dropped St. Patrick's today just to go ahead and get that out the way.
Okay.
So I was already 3 months in, but I had already said I'm not making nothing else because I've already, first and foremost, I've created literally everything that you could possibly put on a onesie. I've already done. Like, already put it on there. And then two, you know, I have so many, like, companies, bigger companies and stuff like that are coming after me and redoing. And, like, you can literally find my pictures anywhere on the site. So after a while, it's like, I gave y'all enough. I'm out. You know? But
say that again. Especially
I gave y'all enough. I'm out. And that's that.
Yes.
But, like, I had to take a mental break because I'm like, okay, I'm making this money, but I'm, like, stressed out. Why? And then also, too, you got to question, like, everybody's talking about, oh, let's get the bag. But then you get the bag, and then what? What happens after you get the bag? What do you do after you get the bag?
So what are you doing in this time from now to September?
I am meeting people like you.
Yes.
Like, literally, I'm doing what I want, which is nothing.
Ooh. I like that.
I love that.
And it's bomb.
I love that.
Now, don't get me wrong, I still go to the warehouse. I was just there yesterday. I'm not even gonna flex. I will go in and make sure orders are still getting shipped. I do have, you know, one or two people who are able to help to do everything and have it on autopilot for me. But the stress I thought I was in like 2 years ago is nothing compared to what I am in, you know, now, or what I experienced, you know, during the COVID time. So I was actually grateful for me thinking Sally Mae was stressing me out on this day. Now I got tons of you that can do this to me.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Tons of Sally Mae's.
No, I'm serious. It does get like that because you do have some real, you know, demanding people out there, that don't understand. And right now I'm enjoying drinking my water and peeing every 5 minutes. I drink a gallon a day. I haven't done that for like the last 3 months.
Yes.
That's
and
why
I'm
you're
glowing like that.
Yeah, I'm just over here. My face is clearing up.
Yes.
Thank God. Like literally, that was like another thing. My stress will always show either in my weight. Either I will lose the weight like super quick, and my face will like break out, and it would just be for me being under so much stress. When I first started, it was like grind mode. Like you could tell like the hustle was in me. It still is in me now, but now it's like, okay, it's a calm hustle because it's like it's gonna come.
And you put in the work.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't think about it.
You just flow.
You just gotta come and a lot of people too, like they get so hyped and get into like material, and it's like that doesn't necessarily matter. A lot of people wear their money versus having it.
Amen.
Right.
And that's another thing too.
Stupid.
I might like my little jewelry here and there, but
somebody just put a diamond in their forehead.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, I love it. Now that I do love. I can't.
Why? Hold on, sis.
I've been
Why?
vibing with you this whole time. No,
listen,
I think we're gonna end this interview right here.
But think about it in his perspective, though. Okay. Now we may not understand, right? We may not understand. But okay, personally, Lil Uzi is one of this. He's just a sweetheart. I mean, you can just tell he's just a sweetheart. I've been around, but never like on a personal like, you know what I'm saying? But like the energy though is really different. Like
we
alien,
can tell.
alien vibe.
Oh, for sure.
Now I will say this. I kind of looked at it like how he might look at his diamond might be like how I might look at like a crystal or something else that I really, really want.
But do you need it in your forehead?
I personally wouldn't. Me personally, and I'll be honest, Tyler. But like, okay, the forehead part is definitely different because it's like if it's got somebody, he's go like this and just yank it, like that right there could probably cause some type
he's a
of
walking target now,
indention or whatever. But then he might be like, oh my God, like this is what I'm seeing out of, and it's like all my energy is coming through here.
Is it?
I don't know. I mean,
I want to talk to him.
That's an interesting perspective. Because
like,
if your third eye is there, you think about a diamond and all the way. It could be, or he could have just like accentuated it.
No, y'all be
and like now he sees in other dimensions
he might.
that we didn't see before.
I don't know. He might because, like I said, when you're in that like he is himself. I'll say it like that.
He's
Lil
himself.
Uzi is himself.
I say.
And that's bomb. To be able to do that and to
Especially
be able to
as a
say
black
like
man.
I don't care about
that is.
what this person thinks or whatever. I just know, I probably some people put dermals in like here, some people put dermals here and here and stuff like that. So, but his just had to be 24 million in the middle of the forehead, and we don't know.
That's wild.
Let's give it 3 months and see if he has superpowers. Let's just figure it out.
See if his body rejects it.
I mean, that could possibly happen.
Akiya Jeri, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
So sweet to me.
Yes. I feel like you just put a blessing on all of our lives.
Yes.
We want everyone to think bigger.
Yes.
All of our accounts are going to be 10K, 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 and then the mail.
100K.
100K, and then a milli and beyond.
Yes. No, seriously, you really have to think that way.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not joking.
No,
I'm taking it
seriously.
out from you.
I'm talking about like manifest.
Yes.
Manifest.
Get a marble notebook.
Why marble?
Marble represents balance.
Okay.
Me thinking
I
about
like
marble.
I like
it's
that.
Like it all kind of like makes its way around in some way, shape, or form, and write everything down. That's what I did. It's really all about manifestation. The more you put it out there, the more it happens. So I kid you not, I literally was broke.
I mean, you said you was a sub, girl.
Literally 135, and that was if they called me in.
Yep, because it's not consistent.
It's not a consistent job, and even then, it's just like, as long as you manifest. If that's one thing that you can take from this, besides like like mushrooms and everything being like awesome, because that really needs to be highlighted.
That was the biggest part of the show.
Biggest part of the show.
No, like straight up.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, if I could just leave this as like a last impression, is the fact that like you really have to manifest. We are very powerful. Very, 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 very powerful beings, and especially if you're grounded and just like your true self and what you're capable of and what you're deserving of, it will happen. This is just anything that you could put into the universe, whether it be a new job. Let's just entrepreneurship. Let's just scratch that out. Sometimes being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody. Sometimes actually being okay with working and even just having a corporate job or just working for a company and things of that nature, I feel like definitely needs to be normalized, because right now everybody's like so caught up on, oh, you got to be your own boss. And it's like, no, some people really actually like having a teamwork and just knowing like they're going in with a team versus it just being them. Because being an entrepreneur is definitely can be a lonely, it's definitely a lonely journey for sure. I won't even cap you down. But if you do decide to just manifest what you want, even if it's a healthy lifestyle, whether it be children, whether it be marriage, whether it be a business, whether it be if you are a director or whatever and you want to be with Lionsgate or whatever. I mean, it could just be anything. Just manifest that and just take your time with it too, because you have to become your thoughts. A lot of people, when they manifest, they think, oh, I could just say this and that's it. Like, no, you have to eat, sleep, and breathe it. And then even your subconscious mind, which, speaking of that, one thing that I do recommend with manifestation is called Power Thoughts Meditation Club. You can actually go on YouTube and listen to it, or you can do it from iCloud or wherever you call it. The music app. It's called Power Thoughts Meditation Club, and there's so many different ones that you can listen to. And like even to this day now, I'll still listen to it like while I'm going to sleep. So my brain is like naturally like taking in the information. So when I wake up the next day, I'm already on it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, Power Thoughts Meditation Club. It's really bomb. And yeah, just remember that you are powerful, and what you want you can have, and don't let anybody tell you anything different.
Ashe, that's it.
Love you guys.
All right, so that concludes our tea leaf discussion. We're going to move on into our What the Health. Again, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I feel great. I feel amazing today.
So for today's What the Health, I wanted to read the Oath of Manifestation. If you would like, you can repeat after me or just say it along in your head. I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the door of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Ashe. So since we had a master manifester in the building, I thought it would be a great time to bring out some affirmations for you all. It's a really good way to program your mind and to remind yourself that you are deserving of everything that your heart desires. So again, that is called the Oath of Manifestation. We're going to go ahead and get into our Mo to Go.
Baby, I'ma be a motivation.
Asia, what you got for us today?
Yes, y'all. So if you don't know now, you know, Mo to Go is a very quick segment where I like to provide some motivation for something that I'm working on in my own life. So following these two amazing, beautiful women that I have the opportunity to work with, we talked about manifesting, we talked about putting in the work. But I think something that we all fail to do is to have patience. So we all go, okay, I'm manifesting, I see it, I want it, I'm going to achieve it. Then we go work on it. I'm going to the gym every day. I'm ready to be slim, thick, you know. But we don't ever wait for the end result. And that's something that I'm currently going through, trying to get my own workout journey back on. I feel like I've been going to the gym for 3 weeks, and it's just like, all right, when am I going to be able to wear a bikini? When am I going to be like, what is going on, y'all? Like, I've been going to the gym. I'm tired of the gym. Gym is tired of me.
You can wear a bikini now, baby.
That's real.
Don't play around when that sun come out.
That's real, but I want to feel confident in my bikini too. And so we're going to keep going to the gym. But I think a huge thing that I'm trying to really work into myself, and that I hope you all listen to as well, is to be patient, because things take time. Things worth waiting for, or things worth having, are worth waiting for. And so continue to put in that work. Don't get discouraged, because that's typically what happens to us. We go, okay, well, I've been trying real hard. I've been studying. I've been doing all of this. I've been putting in the work, and I'm not seeing the result. Well, the people that truly end up on top, the real winners, are those who stick it out. Mm-hmm. Because many people that fail are the ones that gave up too soon. So for this week's Mo to Go, I urge you, please be patient. Give yourself time. And I don't know where you stand religiously, but you have your time but there's also God's time. There's the universe's time. And you can't rush that. Things are going to happen to you when they're supposed to. So don't give up, because you never know how close you are, because you can't see the end result, but you might give up right before you made it. So keep pushing, be patient, give yourself grace, and go out and prosper. Be great. That wraps up Mo to Go, and that leads us into one of my favorite segments of the show, Lift Every Voice.
Lift every voice and sing.
All right, so the voice we're lifting up this week is Will. He's a singer, songwriter, and producer, originally from Houston, but he's been in Atlanta since 2011, so we're going to go ahead and claim him. Apparently, he just dropped a new song, and it's for the ladies, just in time for Valentine's Day. So let's check out GLT by Will.
Always fall for girls like this. Shoot my shot and make some
I love it.
Why do I always chase you? For some reason I can't wait to keep on falling for girls like this. Like this. Like this. Keep on falling for girls. About 30 minutes right past the talking phase. Now I already see some of your evil ways. Look up in the mirror.
30 minutes past the talking phase.
That was dope. I love the vibe. It was really uplifting. Like, I found myself smiling, and it's always beautiful to see Black men uplift Black women. That always warms my heart. So shout out to you, Will.
Hey, I was feeling it until he said 30 minutes past the talking phase, and I already see your evil ways. Like, I mean, that's real, and that might be his experience. But, you know, there's some good ones out there. Be patient, Will. You're going to find them.
That's true. But even the good ones, we all got some, maybe not evil, but some low-key crazy ways.
It's
Like,
their
everybody
fault.
got something.
It's the man's fault.
It's the man. It's always the man. No, not at all. So we hope that you guys get yourself some loving this Valentine's Day for yourself, your community. Always remember that Valentine's Day, or just love in general, it doesn't have to be romantic, you know? So pour into a child, pour into an elder. Just give love and continue to lift each other up, especially during Black History Month, y'all. So that wraps up this episode of Black Atlas. Thank you all for joining us.
Episode 8, y'all. It's a wrap.
Peace.
All right, beautiful people. So in partnership with Onesie Nation USA, Black Atlas will be giving away one of these awesome onesies that you guys saw today. There are 3 simple rules that you need to follow in order to be entered in the drawing. Step 1, you must follow both Atlanta Decoded and Onesie Nation USA. Step 2, you need to tag 3 friends in any Black Atlas video that you see on the Atlanta Decoded page. And finally, step 3, you need to like 3 photos on the Onesie Nation USA Instagram page. So once again, rule of 3 things you got to do to be entered into the drawing. Step 1, make sure that you follow both Atlanta Decoded and Onesie Nation USA on Instagram. Step 2, make sure that you tag 3 friends, rule of 3. Tag 3 friends in any of the Black Atlas videos that you find on the Atlanta Decoded Instagram page. And finally, step 3, you need to make sure that you like 3 photos on Onesie Nation USA. Once you've accomplished all 3 steps, your name is going to be entered into a drawing, and we will pull a winner on March 5th. Good luck, everyone, and thank you so much for your support.